Hi, I'm Kerry with Best of Us Investors. I'm a retired financial advisor. As in my retirement, I have changed the way I invest substantially. I don't diversify. I invest for the long term, and I invest based on the events that I think are going to change the way I live. And so that's how I go long term on my investments. Why do I do this YouTube channel? I think that's a legitimate question. I have all the money I need to live out my life. This is not my profession. My profession was a financial advisor. I built a large financial planning business under the Ameriprise system and then sold it in 2005 because of the loss of my daughter to cancer, coupled with the same fact that I lost my mother to cancer. I needed something to do to divert my mind, and so that I could channel my energy, which was taking the form of anger, in a different direction. So I'm doing this basically to share my knowledge, not to create a income source, although it does create an income source, and that's what occupies my mind, and thus that's what keeps me sane. I do it a little differently than most people on your YouTube channels and other people that you look at, and I want to explain very openly how I've approached it since I started this channel in November of 2019, and how my portfolio has grown, and why I think it will continue to grow, and why I don't think it's for everybody. If you enjoy swing trading and day trading, this is not a channel for you, unless it's just an accumulation of additional knowledge. I don't do swing trading because it takes a lot of intensity. I don't trade options. I was talking to a young man just yesterday who was telling me he made $60,000 on a $30,000 investment this past month trading the S&P futures. I thought, wow, that's something I ought to get into. But then I realized I don't have the time or the inclination or the passion. I'm not doing it to make money. I'm doing it for the enjoyment. So I want to share my portfolio growth with you so that you can have a better hand on who I am and if this is a channel that you want to be a part of. The other element of it is what I call my tribe. I'm trying to build a group of people that can work together to make long-term investments. So I have to tell you that I am not your financial advisor, and I can't be because I'm no longer licensed in the state of Alabama or any other state. But I do want to share my knowledge and my experience, so I'm here for education and entertainment purposes. So I'll be right back with you.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
Okay, what I want to do is give you some backstory, some back history as to how my channel has how my portfolio has performed since I've taken it seriously, since I have opened it up to my Patreon participants, and show you exactly how it's grown and where I think it's going from there. So let's take a look at that. What I'm showing you here is an Excel spreadsheet graph that I use to track my portfolio and to give me the direction that it's going and give me a feel for what I need to do to continue it on the path. As you can see, I started the portfolio, the Best of Us Investors portfolio that I share on my Patreon in 2018, January 1st, with roughly $400,000 in it. I then used, in 2019, I was investing in the big six, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Google, and Facebook. and it was growing quite well. And then I got concerned about the large debt that we were running up, and I actually moved very heavily into cash starting around July, and moved into 2020 in a very heavy cash position. Continued to hold my big tech stocks. As we then got into 2020, we all know what happened. The stock market reacted to the coronavirus. I started doing some swing trading, trading in companies like American Express, McDonald's, Valero Oil, stocks that I believed that had taken a real beating as a result of the shutdown, and then would rebound as the market reacted to, I guess, rebounded from the severity of the crash, and that showed me a 63% growth in my portfolio through 2020. And then as we moved into 2021, starting actually in November of 2020, I moved very heavily into biotech and some 3D printing and a little bit of robotics. I believed and still believe that the corona crisis is the most important event that happened in our life, and that we recognize that the healthcare system was broken, and our security system was broken, and our supply chain was broken, and so that's why I moved into those stocks. And as you can see, year to date, this is what my portfolio is worth today, $1,082,000, up from on January 1st of $850,000. So that represents about a $232,000 gain, or a 27% gain year to date. I then took it and said, okay, we're in the 200, this is September the 1st, we're in the 244th day of the year. If I divide my growth rate by 244 and then multiply it times 365, this is what I project that I will gain in return on investment for the balance of the year, which would bring my portfolio up to 1.2, just shy of $1.3 million, or give me a gain of 52% of the year. And then this graph basically is a visual picture of what I just explained, carrying out the projection to January the 1st of 2022. So that's how I track my portfolio. What I do is do that 244 days, September 1st. I just basically ask my Google, in the relationship of 365 days a year, what is September the 1st, and it tells me 244. So I do that probably every 15 days, and give me a feeling. And that, again, I'm a very visual person. I'm very oriented towards numbers, and this helps me. I'm sharing this basically because I believe that I'm doing it right. I also believe I'm doing it right for me. As I said, I'm not a swing trader, because that takes intensity. That takes a concentration on daily movements, and you create a formula or your own algorithm, if you will, to feed that. This is the same thing in day trading. It's a commitment, from morning to afternoon, late afternoon, to be watching the market. I don't want to do that. I have other things that I'm interested in. One, creating videos, so I don't know. I'm not looking at the right market right now. I also, as I said, talked to a gentleman who does options trading, and I've been asked if I would do that or teach that. It's not what I want to do. It's not my passion. It's not where I gain pleasure. So I choose to do this my way. It isn't right for everybody, and I think I've recognized that I can't please everybody on the YouTube spectrum, and I think some people saw that I was making good money doing some swing trading on the dips and rises of the corona crisis, and then have been disappointed that I don't trade every day. I basically track what I've got and then look for new entrance points, as well as new companies that are going to help me in my philosophy of trading. And again, that is, I'm limited. I'm the big six, which I will reinforce why I own them through videos, but I'm interested in biotech because I think our healthcare system is going to be the most important change in my lifetime. And you've got to remember, I'm 76 years old, so I lived through the change as a result of World War II. I lived through the change of the introduction of the internet. I lived through the dot-com bubble. I lived through the subprime crisis. Those are all important elements. I mean, the digital revolution is astronomical, but I believe the healthcare revolution will put it to shame and say those of us who recognized what genome sequencing and genome therapies and protein sequencing and protein therapies were change the way it's going to change the way we live, and more importantly, the way we die. And what I mean by that is we're going to take cancer out of our bodies. We're going to take Alzheimer's out of our bodies. They're genome deficiencies. They're genome mistakes that we brought upon ourselves by the things that we've entered into our body, everything from cigarette smoke to pollution to grease, food. I mean, my grandmother used to fry everything in grease, to then the environment that we live in and our past breeding. I know that my Grinkmeyer chain has cancer in it because my mother died of cancer, my father died of cancer, my daughter died of cancer. I will die of cancer unless this genome sequencing can get to me before I die and take cancer out of my body. And then the beauty of it is it will take it out through altering of sperm and egg. It will take it out of the Grinkmeyer bloodline. So I want to be a part of that. Now, I guess my emphasis is you need to recognize, if I want to be a part of that, I have to study it. I have to be constantly reading about it. So that doesn't give me the opportunity to diversify into other areas. I can't take the time to understand plug power or to understand solar energy. I can't do that because I have to be the smartest guy in the room about genome therapy, genome editing. And you can look at the graph. It served me well. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm saying, if that's what you're interested in, if that's the kind of growth that you're content with, subscribe to the channel. Give me a like. Help me build my following. Help me spread this word throughout the investment community, because I really do believe, unless you are a day trader or a swing trader, this is the way to invest. Now, you may not like the medical field, and you might like renewable energy or electric vehicles, but whatever that field is, you need to know it. And I mean really understand it better than anybody else, because you're competing with some of the smartest people in the world, Wall Street, who have some of the best equipment, algorithms, the ability to see the movement of a stock in milliseconds and trade in milliseconds. You're competing with them. I say they trade short term. So if I move out of that ballpark and refuse to play against them and go to my own ballpark and I make the rules, because I study what I'm interested, I'll have a better chance of beating them. And again, as I say, 29% in 2019, 63% in 2020, and projecting roughly a 52% gain this year. I can live with that. I really can. Okay, that's what my channel's all about. I hope it holds some interest for you. If it doesn't, I understand. But I want to encourage, if this is the kind of investing you want to get involved in, and you want help from more than just me, become a part of our Patreon group. You can find a link in the description, or you can go to Best of Us Investors and you can find it there. All right, I'll be talking to you again tomorrow. Looking like a good day in the market. In fact, I'm up over the 1.825 million, as I think the world is waking up to how the medical revolution is going to change everything that we do, or more importantly, how we live and how we don't die.